one of my favorite guests from back in our podcast day. He's not been here before right now. He is here with his book, Why We Don't Suck, and how all of us need to be stop being such partisan little, what's the word that you used right there?
Bitches.
Yeah, thank you, Denis Leary. Good to see you, sir.
You know you're at the Rich Eisen show because I have never been at a show where there's more framed things with your picture or your name or from your past. I'm in the bathroom, which, by the way, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not kidding, is the finest show business bathroom I've ever been in. It's bigger than the first apartment I had in New York. No, it's huge, but it's
I don't know the square footage, if you're going to ask me. I don't know.
It's pretty big. But like everything else around here, it's got framed Rich Eisen items in there. One of them is a crossword puzzle from the New York Times, which said 37 across. ESPN's Rich. By the way, the stupidest New York Times clue of all time.
Why?
Well, because ESPN's Rich. Was there another Rich at ESPN during your tenure? No,
not 5 letters long. That starts with the letter E and ends with an N.
Exactly. So usually, New York Times crossword puzzle, which I've also been in and not framed in my own bathroom. just want to point out, I've been in it multiple times and not framed it in a bathroom. But I'm gonna now. Now it's a challenge. When my wife goes, "Why are you framing New York Times crossword puzzle?" Because Rich Eisen has one in his bathroom. And also, your clue is so easy. I was just like, that's idiotic.
Well, what would your clue be?
I can't remember. I'm getting the Alzheimer's now, so I can't really remember.
But
I do remember your clue because it was only a few minutes ago.
It was in the bathroom.
Yeah. Also, you've got your own bottle of Rich Eisen whiskey in there.
Yeah, a listener.
Somebody sent that to us
from Kentucky, right? It's bourbon. Yeah.
So you guys are. So this is what he's going to claim is that this was all sent in and done by other people.
Well, no, hold on a second. Okay. First of all, let's go one step at a time. That crossword puzzle was framed by my own mother when this was back in like 1997 or 98 when I was just starting out.
I apologize.
No. I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
No. I feel bad. Now I feel bad.
No, it's all right. But so I mean.
So here's my question now.
Yes.
So your mother, God love her.
Yes.
Okay. And that's a touching thing that she framed that. I mean, I'm not joking now. That's really a touching thing that your mother framed that. That's a big thing for a mom. Yeah. Why is it in the guest bathroom? What is it doing in the guest bathroom?
I never thought I would get Jewish guilt angst from Denis Leary.
You're getting it now, pal. So that me and Hakeem Olajuwon and who else can see it? That should be in your house on a prominent display. I am sorry, Mrs. Eisen.
We've never had
I don't know where you are right now, but I apologize for your son's behavior. My God.
That does bring us now to number 2 on pretty much virtually everything you see around here. A lot of it was my wife saying, now that you have a studio, get all this crap out of the house.
I just did that again myself. I just moved again. And my kids are adults now. My kids are 27 and 25. Yeah. So it was in the last like 5 years that they came out of college and left. Which is how old are your kids now?
9, 6, and 4.
Yeah, so you're a ways away from that. But it's when the empty nest happens, you downsize. I mean, the house that we brought them up in was too big, and the apartment without them in it was. So you downsize, and you have to get rid of stuff. And the first stuff to go, I don't have to tell you, is the sports stuff. So
what went? What's gone out of your house?
It's not gone. I've put it up above the garage. I created a space because I had some great sports things, man. I got a Bobby Orr's, Stanley Cup winning goal signed by Bobby Orr, referring to me as his friend. I mean, come on. I mean, that's like at that point, kill me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've got so many great things. So they're in the garage, and I'm moving them into the gym, but there's not enough space in the gym. So I may have to buy another house that just for me and my sports stuff, just to visit. You know what I mean?
If you want, we do have some space on our walls. Would that be odd if it's your stuff?
Yes, I would feel weird about having. Although I would gladly give you a Denis Leary signed sports item if you take that crossword puzzle thing out of that guest room and take it to your. That has to go to your house. Doesn't it?
I don't know where it would go. I mean, it's perfect here. People see it.
That's not a sports-related item. That is a mother and son relationship item. I'm qualifying for your wife.
Well, speaking of
which... But your wife is a huge sports fan, right?
She is, no doubt.
So she should understand that.
No, she does understand it. She absolutely does. But there is some stuff here that would have no place in my house.
I know. Some of the bigger items. Like I've got a Tom Brady signed picture. And I know that there's a Twilight episode like this in a couple of horror movies. So
great setup.
It's a picture of Tom. He sent a picture of himself. It's head and shoulders, and he's on the sidelines, and he's looking very intently at the camera, right? And it was a photograph, but then it was like painted, right? And it's signed by Tom Brady. Now, obviously, that's worth a lot of money. anyways, but that's not why I have it.
Did he sign it to you, though?
Yeah, he signed it to me, right? So I put it up in the apartment, and my wife, after a day, goes, take it down. Everywhere you go in this room, Tom Brady stares at you. And that's what I realized. It's like one of those horror movie things. Like you walk over to get a sandwich and Tom's like, don't eat that sandwich. Get avocado. You know, it's like eyeballs are right on you. I'm like, it's a little creepy, Tom. It's a little creepy.
His eyes move in the
His
pictures,
eyes move. They don't, but they feel like they do.
They do.
It feels like he's staring at you like, don't have that ice cream. Have avocado ice cream. You know what I mean?
Denis Leary here on the Rich Eisen Show. So in other words, the photograph, the painting looks like the way he did on the sidelines yesterday.
Yeah.
With Josh McDaniels.
By the way, I didn't see his press conference. Did he say anything about that?
What did he say?
What did he say?
Did he say anything or just?
I didn't see anything noteworthy.
Well, you got
Yeah. I'm a asshole too, so you're not going to get it.
So listen, have you ever had the opportunity to be on the sideline near Tom Brady before a football game or during a football game?
Not during the football game. I was next to him at the media day for Super Bowl this year.
He wants no part of any pleasantries before the game.
He's obviously very intense, right? It's like all great athletes, right? Mm-hmm. So he's not like a Joe Montana. Hey, there's John Candy in the stands guy. You know what I mean? Right. So I just when I watch that, whenever I see him going after Josh or anybody on the sidelines, I'm like, that for me that would be an easy decision. Whatever Tom says. You know what I mean?
You could see McDaniels kind of goes at it with him and then turns his back to him, sort of like I'm in the same way that a catcher who has a problem with the umpire always barks the problem towards the pitcher, doesn't ever turn around and address.
And then he went back
the authority.
He went back like, I got stuff to do in the headset. It's like, okay, this is Tom Brady, Josh. That's not going to play.
And then they're sitting there.
Plus, he's like half the size of Tom, so he's looking up at him anyways.
And then they're sitting there. I was talking about this with the guys as we were watching it, the network. They're sitting there after they finally calm down. Then they see him again. They're sitting there, both on their tablets. Yeah. Who broke the silence, do you think?
I got to think it's Tom. It's got to be Tom.
Do you think it was Tom?
I think it was Tom. I mean, again, we should just get raw footage of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably still angry. And it's out of the side of the mouth. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I'd love to find out. That's why, man, I've always said, like, the NFL, I say this about all sports. If you could make extra money, guys like me and you would pay extra money if there was a channel, like forget Red Zone Network, that just has mics on all, let's say just the main players. You don't have to have all the players, although I paid extra even for all the players.
Right.
So that we can hear it as it's going live. So you can watch like on whatever channel, you can watch the game and move around, you know, be able to move around to the sidelines, whatever you want, and find out what's going on. Never going to happen.
Never will happen.
Never going to happen.
No, I mean, a microphone even picked up Belichick telling the coach of the Bills, McDermott, that the Gronk hit was BS. Like, he actually said the word. And you heard it.
That Gronk. Listen, dude, that hit, you know, and if you're Gronk, you know. As soon as he got up, he's probably like, oh, forget the suspension. The yelling from Belichick after the game or after he sees the footage is 10 times worse than the suspension. Stupid play. And I like Gronk.
Me too.
It's stupid.
I agree
And the
with
guy's
you.
half your size. I mean, come on.
I know.
How about the fact that none of the Bills wanted to fight him? How does a fight not happen?
Would you?
Well, you've got offensive and defensive linemen. I'd push them towards him. That's what I would do if I was on the Bills. It's great. Hey, you big guys should fight him right now.
Sort of like baseball fights too. It's just like they'll get as close as possible and then run away from each other.
But that one was like nobody hit him. One guy kind of pushed him a little bit and then started pointing to the ref. That was pretty sad.
Denis Leary is here. We're back in 60 seconds. We'll talk a little bit more sports and then obviously turn attention to your book, Why We Don't Suck and Why You Wrote It. 844-204-RICH, number to dial. We're back in 60 seconds with Dr. Denis Leary here on The Rich Eisen Show. All right,
God, the Red Sox.
Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. Denis Leary is here again. His book, "Why We Don't Suck." What did you forget about? Red Sox?
I forgot about. He was playing the.
He was in the booth with Lenny Clark back in '07, and they're talking about Euclid, and then they get into Mel Gibson. It's fine.
Well, Mel Gibson. The Mel Gibson thing had happened. The Red Sox were doing the Jimmy Fund charity.
Yeah. Great charity, by the way. One of the greatest charities on planet Earth.
Yeah, and we were doing Rescue Me, and they asked us to come and do the Jimmy Fund. And then stop in to talk to Remy and those guys in the booth. Yeah. And, that's usually like, that's like in between pitches, you talk about Jimmy Fund and then you push the TV show or whatever. And then, the inning's over and you say goodbye. Well, that inning, the Red Sox scored like 14 runs. It was like a 30-minute inning, right? So, and those guys ended up laughing so hard at some of the stuff that Lenny was saying that they sort of fell out. So Lenny and I we realized, oh my God, we're running the Red Sox booth right now.
Yeah.
So we went on, I forget how we got on Mel Gibson.
Well, because Kurt Schilling was pitching and Euclid is first base, and you guys realized he was
and
Jewish.
Mel Gibson's rant had been
fresh in
it was fresh in people's minds. So we went on a Mel Gibson.
And he made a great play to end the inning, and you guys started screaming,
it was crazy,
take that, Mel Gibson.
Yeah, we were in there. We were in that booth for 45 minutes. It was awesome.
Did you hear about it when you got out?
No, they loved it. They loved it. Remy and those guys, of course, some of the stuff we said, they couldn't stop laughing, but they also they weren't going to act like they were okay with some of the stuff we said. But I just remember Lenny and I at a certain point are holding microphones, and Remy's on the ground over here laughing, the other guy's over here laughing, and we're like, hey, what's going on?
There you go.
We're the announcers for the Red Sox.
That's ball
which is
one.
like our dream come true. One of our dreams.
Well, did you ever want to be a sportscaster? You ever think about?
No, I wanted to be. This is how smart I was. I thought I was gonna. I grew up in Massachusetts, and I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts. Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito, the Bruins of that era, one of the greatest hockey teams of all time. Hockey mad town, hockey mad state. So I just never studied. And when they gave me books in high school, I would just throw them away because I was like, I'm going to be a hockey player. And then I flunked off the JV hockey team my freshman year. You had to have a C- average, and I had a D- average. Imagine that. And by the way, the coach was one of the teachers, and he's like, I'm going to give you 1 grade. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I was an idiot. But
now, what would you say to those teachers? I've written a book.
Well,
what would they think about that? Denis Leary?
Well. All the nuns who thought there was one nun in particular, Sister Judith Catman, who was. Do you know about this?
No.
Oh, okay.
He just finds it funny already.
No, I just.
Oh, you went to Catholic school.
Yeah. I went to 12 years at St. Peter's, the same Catholic prison for 12 years, with all the same kids from the neighborhood, all my brothers, all my cousins. So the way it worked was, if they hated your sibling or your cousin in front of you, they hated you when you walked in the door. So as soon as I went into first grade, they were like, oh, another Leary. I'm like, oh, boy. So I just spent 12 years torturing them. And this one nun, Sister Judith Catman, said to me, I failed Spanish junior year in high school, and I took it senior year, and I wasn't even studying it. I couldn't even say like aqua, you know what I mean? Like nothing. So she said, I am going to pass you just to get you out of this building, and nothing is ever going to come of you. You know why? Because you're an idiot, and you're gonna regret this. And I'm like, okay. So how many years go by? A buddy of mine from that school, which is really incredible, became a Broadway actor, and he was in Spam-A-Lot, which was he won the Tony for that, and it was a huge hit. And one night he's finishing a performance, he's upstairs taking his makeup off, and one of the assistants goes, there's a couple of old nuns coming up the stairs that want to talk to you. And he's like, old nuns, why are they coming up the stairs? And he goes to the stairs to try to help them. And this Sister Judith Catman had buck teeth. And he sees this old nun with buck teeth coming up the stairs. And he's like, oh my God, Sister Judith Catman. So they talk for like 45 minutes. And at the end of it, she's like, you're so great. And I always knew you'd make something out of yourself and blah, blah, blah. She goes, whatever happened to that Leary kid? And to his credit, he goes, nothing. Which is just awesome. So she could live that dream. You know what I mean?
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
So
she's in the book.
She is in the book.
I talk about her in the book.
Well, there's a sister, Agnes Catherine, that's quoted on the back. I told him back in 1974 he was going to hell. This book just confirms it.
Yeah, she hated me, too. They all hated me. They all hated me.
Why did you write this book?
I wrote this book because the election... my previous book had been called
Why We Suck.
Why We Suck.
Right.
And this time during the election, it got so divisive, and especially even afterwards. And I have a 25-year-old, 27-year-old who are emotionally affected by this election. And listen, I voted for Hillary, but I didn't want to. I thought she was a terrible candidate, and Trump was a hilarious candidate. I wanted to go back in and I just write about all these issues, sexism and racism and sort of remind us where the common ground is, but also kind of make us all laugh again. Because all my Republican friends weren't laughing. They were arguing with my Democratic friends and vice versa. They're all rage tweeting at each other. So I just wanted to really make you laugh your ass off again and, basically forget about the worst parts about it. Remember with the things that unite us.
Yeah, we had Saget on a couple weeks ago. He said that he takes it as a responsibility to make people laugh right now, is the way he called it. being a
Listen,
comedian.
dude, people get lost. People get lost. You know, I'm from the George Carlin, speaking of being Catholic, and the Richard Pryor school, which is that all politicians suck. So to get tied up emotionally with anybody is dangerous territory anyways. So this book is anti all politicians, just pro us, because people did stop laughing. Even some of my friends who were comedians were like, it's not funny anymore. I said, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny on a daily basis. So I just want to, again, I hope I achieved my goal. So far, so good, I think. The people I'm hearing from are saying it is making them laugh, and that's what I wanted to do.
Why we don't suck here, and how all of us need to stop being such partisan little bitches.
You said it.
I did.
I thought you weren't going to say it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's the title of the book here.
Are you allowed to say bitches?
I guess I just did. I'll find out. I'll find out if the red light's on.
Can Rich only say bitches if it's in the title of a book or a movie? Nobody knows.
I think so.
I would say yes, probably.
You would say yes. He's
only in the title.
You couldn't say like Gronk was acting like a little bitch yesterday when he hit the guy.
Yeah, I don't think that would be productive from my position.
But I just said it.
Well, because also two things.
I shouldn't have said that because now Gronk's going to
be because and again, in that we're kind of touching on something about how you're talking about partisan and the argument.
Right.
That has kind of taken over the sports conversation.
Yeah.
But there are some people who might call Gronk that. I would never do that because I've been around athletes. I know how he could lose his mind. I know why he lost his mind. I don't think he should have lost his mind in that regard. I'm more than happy to have that nuanced conversation about what happened. I'm not just going to come on the air and call him that because of one is I'd like to have an actual conversation out of it. And two, I'd also like to have him on the show.
Right.
And please,
has he been?
Has he
been on the show?
Yeah,
Gronk's been here.
Yeah,
has he been live in this chair?
He has.
Look, really?
He wrote a book too.
Oh wow! Right. Yeah, I haven't read Gronk's book.
We think he might have.
I don't know if he actually wrote it.
Well, listen, he's busy.
He told some stories, and someone else put it to paper.
Word processed.
I like Gronk, man. I think he's a great player, but you can't. That's just. And I'm sure he felt. I saw the apology last night that he did on TV, and he got mad in the middle of the apology. But again, dude, hit somebody your own size. Not
when they're prone down on the ground.
Yeah, not when they're prone. It's just stupid. It's stupid for the team. And as a Patriots fan, it's idiotic because now you're going to be out at least 2 games. I mean, you got to be suspended for at least 2 games.
And it's funny how you said that he was probably, first things first, wondering about the hell he was going to catch from Belichick. Because just the week before, he basically said that Belichick is treating celebrations like Fight Club. You're not allowed to talk about it.
Dude, I think the celebrations suck. Here's my thing. They gave you finally give these guys freedom to create your own celebrations. Can you name one celebration this year that you've gone like, oh, wow, that's incredibly entertaining and really funny? Not one in my book. Anybody? Come on.
Well, the hopscotch that the Chiefs did was pretty funny. The Duck, Duck, Goose was funny. The Vikings.
Come on. I'm telling you,
the Eagles bowling last week was kind of funny.
The bowling thing's been around for even bowlers used to do that.
But Dennis, the bar is very low because these guys.
The bar is very low. You know what the greatest celebration of all time in football was? Barry Sanders. You know what you do? Hand the ball back to the ref. Speaking of Bobby Orr, most of the time when Bobby Orr scored in the regular season, he didn't even raise his arms. He went over to his teammates and then went back to his position for the face-off. I'm sick of it.
Did you see Belichick? He was wearing an NFL Films wire during the Dolphins game, and they showed him after every Patriots touchdown. He didn't even move.
No, he doesn't move.
He didn't even fist pump. He didn't even smile. He didn't even just.
Dude, listen, the guy.
Like
he's a. And have you interviewed Belichick?
Yes, I have.
Because he is a really smart, funny guy.
Yeah,
he's a really funny guy. But he's a remarkable mind. And listen, man, I love it as a Patriots fan watching. As a football fan, you got to love the approach. But as a player, you got to know, like that celebration last week when Cooks jumped on Gronk's back. As soon as he did, I was like, ooh, guys, Belichick. That's a 20-minute speech right there.
Yeah,
that's just yelling.
But is that the reason why the Patriots aren't going to win the Super Bowl though? I mean,
what do you mean?
Don't you think there's a little bit too something? We just talked about Sister, whatever her name is.
Can I just say this?
30 years later, you're still.
If Gronk is suspended for 2 games, that directly affects the offense and the outcome of a game. And you got the Pittsburgh game coming up. All right, so there's your answer. I hate to be like Belichick, Gronk, but
there you go.
And like I have to say, me and Rich have to say it to Gronk. He knows. He's probably right now, man. He is so bummed out right now.
Why we don't
His
suck.
ears are bleeding from the Belichick screed.
I bet it is.
Are we done?
Well, I mean, you could stay for one more segment if you want.
Yeah, I do. I want to
when we come back, you want to. John Mara, the owner of the Giants, has spoken. Correct?
He has.
All right. So we'll go over that together.
Oh, okay.
We'll break news.
Oh, good.
Are you ready to break news?
Yeah, I'm ready to break news.
All right. Okay. Dennis Leary is here on the Rich Eisen Show.
It's the Rich Eisen Show with Denis Leary.
With Denis Leary. And all of his material that he's going to put on our walls, which will be very odd and awkward. That's coming up here on the show.
I felt bad when you said the thing about your mom.
It's all good. So we've got about a minute before the radio audience returns, and you said you want to. This studio has inspired you. Is that what you're saying? The studio has inspired you?
I like the studio,
well, yes.
And now, of course, my natural jealousy and hatred have overcome my friendship with you momentarily. For me to go like, Rich Eisen has a really nice studio with a lot of people working for him. Why don't I have my own talk show, my own studio?
Let's call your agent right now. Should we do that?
This is pretty nice.
Should we do that?
How far do you live from here?
About 30 minutes.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. No.
Huh.
Come down here, we chat.
Yeah, and you do like what, 4 days a week?
5.
5?
Yeah.
In the studio 5 days a week?
Yes.
Okay.
15 hours a week on
And then during the
average.
football season, you're on the road a lot.
I'm on the road. I'm working.
Right. This is pretty good.
Would you be able to do it now that the thing we were talking about?
I have to be on a network where I could curse. So it'd have to be Netflix, right?
Yeah, well, that's a streaming service,
or HBO.
though, as you know.
Yeah.
You want to guest host?
What do you
Yes.
mean?
Like where I'm not here and you do it?
100%.
Do it.
Yes. Say yes.
It's a 3-hour. Hey, look, man. If
That's
you
a
thought,
lot. Yeah, you know what?
If you thought the top half of the fourth of you and Lenny, whatever you did, was long.
No, Rich, I know. Listen, Jon Stewart and Craig Ferguson, friends of mine, did talk shows, man. I know, like, that is...
They did a half hour a day.
That's this is a tough gig.
3 hours.
Yeah, and as much as I love sports, and I could talk about sports, like 3 hours, 4 hours a day, man, that's heavy work. People don't realize how hard that is.
All right, so we'll find a gray area for you.
If I could do like a sports-related talk show that was once a week where I could curse.
All right, welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show with Denis Leary. Just hanging out for one more segment here.
Yeah.
I've been telling you about MyPillow for over a year now. We love MyPillow. It should be your pillow. Do you need a pillow, Dennis?
Can I just ask
Look
you?
at the way you're looking at me right now.
I'm giving you a dirty
pushing
look.
product right now.
I've seen the guy on TV. Have you used the pillow?
Of course.
Is it good?
It is. It's
It
great.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
All right.
uses it.
I use it.
You used to have neck pain all the time.
Yeah.
You know what?
Gone.
Can I ask this question?
My wife, same thing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so maybe I have to get
My
one.
parents.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
Steve Mariucci, our second-hour
Really?
guest.
Yeah, puts him in his guest homes.
rooms.
Yeah.
He's addicted to MyPillows.
Well, I'm gonna have to try it.
And let me tell you about this deal, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Hey, Rich, what's the deal on those MyPillows?
I'm glad you asked, Denis Leary, author of Why We Don't Suck. MyPillow.com. Buy one, get one free tab. Take advantage of this limited time offer. Use the promo code RICH at MyPillow.com. 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. You get a MyPillow premium pillow. You buy one, you get one free. And use the promo code RICH.
If you buy a copy of my book, Why We Don't Suck,
yes,
and how all of us need to stop being such partisan little bitches, you get a free MyPillow. No, you don't. I just felt like
there you
saying
go.
that.
Very good.
Yeah.
The MyPillow.
Wouldn't it be great if you did?
The MyPillow.
I should have thought of it
what?
in advance.
What? Okay, so while we were chatting, John Mara, the co-owner of the Giants, president of the Giants, spoke to the media after firing Ben McAdoo and longtime general manager Jerry Reese today. You're like doing sports talk radio.
I know I am.
Right?
I meant.
Do you want to throw to the clip?
Yeah, I'll throw. Here's John Mara, ladies and gentlemen, after the firing of McAdoo, who had to go, and the GM.
How much did the whole Eli situation play into everything?
It really had no effect whatsoever. 2-10 is 2-10, and obviously the public reaction to that was not pleasant, but that really didn't have any effect on our decision.
Do you regret not intervening? It seems like the plan to move to Geno and other quarterbacks was not right.
Ben came up with the plan. I initially signed off on the plan. My hope had been to talk to him to try to have a little more flexibility with it, not have a hard and fast time when he was going to come out of the game. But by then, Eli rightfully had rejected the notion of only starting, playing a half, and coming out. And we had issued the statement, and it was just too late at that point. In any event, it is where it is, and you ought to stop blaming Ben and Jerry on that. If you want to blame anybody for that, blame me, because I certainly had the power to overrule it if I wanted to. I chose not to do it.
Okay.
Wow. That's pretty honest right there.
Yeah, it's pretty honest. And I'll be honest. Yesterday, when I saw the post-game press conference with McAdoo, where he said, as long as my key card's working, I went, dude, you shouldn't have said key card. soon as I heard key card, I knew it's not working tomorrow. It's not going to work tomorrow. Idiotic.
The whole thing, right?
The whole thing. Just taking Eli out. I'm no huge Eli Manning fan, and I'm not a Giants fan. But Geno Smith? I didn't even know Geno Smith was still in the league. I'm being dead honest. And I'm a huge football fan.
I know.
I was like, where'd they get Geno from?
I know.
It's crazy.
The backup.
And the team sucks.
You know this is coming for Brady one day, right? You know this.
It comes for everybody. But I knew Matt Gadu was in trouble when he started slicking the hair back. This is why, like, none of the stuff I talk about you can bet on, but I get feelings. And when I saw that guy the first time with the hair slicked back, I was like, this guy's out. This is just, it doesn't help the brain. Obviously, it's straining the brain with the hair, flattened out like that. But he just turned it, I can't say this word on TV probably on your show.
Well, you probably can't, but
okay.
What does it sound like? Do you want to do charades or what do you want to do?
I can't just say it, right? He just, when he started slicking the hair back and when he became the head coach, he immediately became kind of, begins with a D and ends with Y.
Dirty. He's filthy. You're
right.
Filthy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing: is because you said that you would definitely do a sports talk show because I asked you to. You said you like the setup, whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you should do the show when I'm not here, or whatever. Although I would always want you to do the show when I'm here.
Yeah, but
bottom line is,
when are you not here? By the way,
this Friday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, and who comes in the guest house?
Well, it's a split between Andrew Siciliano and my wife. Sometimes does it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Keep it all in the family.
That's very competitive, though.
What do you mean?
Because if your wife comes on and she's better than you.
Oh God, I'm not worried about that because I hope she is.
Okay.
You looked at me, thought, "Oh my God, I just disrespected my wife."
No, I just thought your wife comes on, she's better than you, and people are like, "Hey, Rich, problem."
I get that tweets all the time.
Your key card doesn't work anymore. Hey, my key card's not working.
Or my house key doesn't work anymore. That would be the worst.
Yeah.
But we do a segment called Eisen Overtime specifically for our app, and you can curse all you want on that. And we're going to do that as soon as we're done.
Okay, ready?
No. We got 30 seconds left in the show.
All right.
The final poll results, Chris Brockman. Get it for me over there.
The New Year's bowl game you're most interested in, the Rose Bowl, 40%, 36% the Sugar Bowl, that's Alabama Clemson, and 24% the Cotton Bowl, that's USC and Ohio State.
And I want to thank today's guests, Steve Mariucci, Bruce Feldman, Jared Goff, and you, Sir Denis Leary, author of the book. Well,
special thanks to me because I'm here.
That's right. And Dr. Denis Leary's book, Why We Don't Suck. Tomorrow's show, Jim Belushi, and then Wednesday's show, Morgan Freeman.
Hey, wait a minute. Is Belushi going to be here live?
That's right. That's tomorrow.
And Freeman?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You coming back?
Wow, that's pretty big.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.